Hello friends, welcome to ADO.NET tutorial. In the last video we talked about connection string, and in this example, in this video we will build the connection string. So this is the example. So here you will provide your server name, then you will specify initial catalog. That means here you will actually specify the database name, say for example pubs or Northwind, like that. Then here you will provide user ID, SCA, and password for the SCA account, say for example ABC123. And we have two buttons. One is build integrated. Build integrated will make use of your Windows user account and skips this SQL server specific information. And the second button, build connection, will make use of SQL server based connection. That means it will use all four components: server, initial catalog, and SQL server specific username and password. Once a connection string is built, it will be shown here in the multi-line text box. So here if you see btn con integ, so that's the button name we are giving here, right? In the click event, we are creating an instance of SQL connection string builder, and we call that as con builder, right? Then using the con builder dot data source, and if you see, this connection string builder is providing multiple properties. So one is data source, integrated security, initial catalog. So data source, we are taking it from the server node or server text box. Since we know that user is clicking the build integ button, we are setting this integrated security property to true. That means here we are telling use Windows user. Integrated security in the sense the SQL server security is tied to the logged in user or Windows user credential. Next we set initial catalog by taking the text box content. So here initial catalog, we are taking it from two pubs, 2a if we state. So this is the text box txtdb, so we are taking the text from here. So using the con builder, we are populating the property, and after that, once you populate all the property, you can make use of the connection string property, con builder dot connection string. This will return a string, and we are assigning that to the connection string. So this is txt connection string, right? So we are assigning the text here. And if you see, the sample is simple. We are creating the instance of string builder. We are assigning the individual member. After that, we are reading the content of connection string property from connection string builder. Here is a btn click, the second button click. Build connection is there, right? We are clicking that, and the event handler is here. As usual, in the previous example, we are creating instance of SQL connection string builder. This time we populate all four text box values, right? TXT server, assigning it to data source. That's the property. So here it is data source, and we provide server name. At runtime we will provide localhost because our database is running on this same machine in which I am recording the video. If it is in different machine, you can provide IP address or well-known host name. Next, user ID, whatever you type in this text box, user ID text box that we are populating. Then password, we are giving the password from the password text box. Initial catalog, so whatever DB you specify, that goes here. So this data source and initial catalog we used in our integrated security mode also. If you see data source, initial catalog, user ID, password, this information is specific to SQL Server, right? When we are testing, we will provide SA and SA password, and if you have inbuilt user for the SQL Server, you can use that. Also. Yeah. Finally, we read the connection string and display that in the txt-con text box. So this will be a multi-line text box, and in that we will display the connection string. Now it's demo time. Let's go to the demo. So here we created a project called connecting to SQL, and here is the form, and you can see there are 4 text boxes. There are 4 text boxes, and we named these text boxes as TXT server, TXT DB. You can read the name here also. TXT user ID, TXT password, and this is a TXT connection string. And this is also a text box. Once you make multi-line property to true, you can resize this text box height-wise. Alright, so there are 2 buttons. One is btn can intec and btn can. So now we will rebuild this solution once and handle the build integrated button click. So as already told, here if you see, we make use of ConnectionStringBuilder, and using that we are building the connection string. System.data.sql client. Okay, here we have system.data.sql client. From this namespace we are instantiating the SQL connection string builder, and we are making use of the properties from connection builder. So data source is one property, integrated security, that's a boolean property, you can see that here, and initial catalog is a string property. Finally, connection string is also a string property, and after building the bypass, we are retrieving the connection string. Let's rebuild this once. And server, here I'm typing localhost. Initial catalog is pubsdb. User ID is not required because we are not using it, and just type in something randomly here. And when I say build integrated, you can see this is the connection string that we can pass to SQL connection in the future. So data source is localhost, and you can see how it is forming the connection string. The name here is data source, value is localhost, right? This is one part which is separated by semicolon. Then we are having initial catalog pubs, integrated security true. Next, we will handle the button click event for build connection. Here, if you see, we will go ahead with the same procedure. We build SQL connection string builder. We assemble the parts, and finally we read the connection string from the connection string builder. This time here we are using the user ID as well as a password. So now we will use localhost. Here you can type your server name or IP address if your database is running in different machine. Initial catalog Northwind. User ID is SA. Password is ABC123. So here I'm not using the password field, and we're simply using the normal text box. And our goal here is to see how we can build a connection string using the ConnectionStringBuilder class. And this is the connection string. Right, data source. Initial catalog is one part, and integrated security we are not using here because we are not tied to Windows security this time. We are using the SQL Server security, and user ID is SA. Password is ABC123. So just now you saw the demo. That's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.